Imagine a religion that challenges the very idea of God, a tradition that asserts the path to enlightenment lies not in divine intervention, but in our own hearts and minds. That's exactly what Buddhism proposes, and it has sparked serious controversy over the centuries. Welcome to a journey exploring one of the most provocative questions in spiritual history. Why do Buddhists not believe in God? Before we begin, I want to clarify that this article is not aimed at pushing any agenda or disrespecting anyone's beliefs. Buddhism is truly about exploration and questioning everything, including its own teachings. Whether you're a devout believer, a hardened skeptic, or just curious about different perspectives, you are in the right place. Understanding the concept of God in Buddhism. First, let's define our terms clearly. When we speak of God, we often think of an all-powerful, all-knowing creator who rules the universe. However, the Buddha did not focus much on this concept. He was more concerned with addressing the issue of human suffering, issues of the present moment, rather than speculating about ultimate origins. Interestingly, when asked about the nature of God and the universe, the Buddha often remained silent, suggesting that these questions were irrelevant to the path of liberation. Fast forward a few centuries, and we find that most Buddhist traditions have embraced a non-theistic worldview. This doesn't mean that all Buddhists are atheists. Some believe in various deities and supernatural beings, but these are seen more as symbolic representations of enlightened qualities rather than all-powerful creators. The emphasis on self-empowerment in Buddhism. So why is there a departure from the idea of a creator God? At its core, Buddhism is about self-empowerment. The Buddha taught that each of us has the innate wisdom and compassion to free ourselves from suffering. We don't need to rely on any external savior or deity. The key to liberation lies within us. It's like having a superhero hiding inside us, just waiting to be awakened. This idea of radical personal responsibility is a game changer. It means that our happiness and spiritual growth are in our own hands. We can't simply pray or make offerings and expect some divine being to solve our problems. The Buddha's last words were, "Be a lamp unto yourself," which means trust your own wisdom, question everything, and don't blindly follow any leader or doctrine. Karma and rebirth, the connection between actions and consequences. Another important concept in Buddhism is karma and rebirth. This concept suggests that our actions have consequences that shape our future experiences, both in this life and beyond. It's like a cosmic game of cause and effect. The interesting thing is that there's no need for a divine judge or heavenly accountant keeping score. We are the ones who set our own destiny in motion. We reap what we sow. The concept of karma ties into another core Buddhist teaching, the idea of non-self or anatta. This means that everything, including our sense of self, is impermanent and constantly changing. There is no fixed eternal soul created by some divine being. Rather, we are more like ever-shifting streams of thoughts, feelings, and experiences. If this sounds complex, you're not alone. Philosophers have grappled with this idea for centuries. But the Buddha's point was that clinging to a false sense of self is a major source of suffering. By letting go of our ego and embracing the flow of change, we can find true freedom. The value of direct experience and meditation. All of this might sound abstract and theoretical, but the Buddha was all about direct experience. He didn't want us to just take his word for it. He wanted us to taste the truth for ourselves. That's why Buddhism places so much emphasis on meditation and mindful living. By observing our own minds and cultivating awareness, we can cut through illusions and discover the ultimate nature of reality. This is the crux of the matter. Buddhists believe that the highest truth is beyond words, concepts, and even beliefs. It can only be known through direct insight. Rather than arguing about the existence of God, Buddhism invites us to embark on a personal journey of self-discovery. It's like a spiritual treasure hunt, with the ultimate prize being the realization of our own boundless wisdom and compassion. Intriguing Buddhist stories. Buddhist history is rich with stories about how thinkers have confronted the big questions about God and existence. For instance, there's the story of Sariputta, one of the Buddha's famous disciples. One day, a wandering ascetic challenged Sariputta, saying, "You Buddhists don't believe in God, so your path is incomplete." Sariputta replied, Friend, even if a creator God exists, that's no reason to abandon the Buddhist path. We follow the Buddha's teachings because we've seen for ourselves that they lead to peace and liberation, not because of blind faith. Another prominent example is found in the Kalama Sutta, where the Buddha tells a group of skeptics not to believe anything blindly, even his own teachings. He urges them to question, investigate, and test the truth for themselves. Don't go by reports, legends, traditions, scriptures, logical conjecture, or inferences, he advised. When you know for yourselves that certain things are unwholesome, wrong, and bad, then give them up. And when you know for yourselves that certain things are wholesome and good, then accept them and follow them. Conclusion: exploring personal spiritual definitions. We've covered a lot of ground in this journey. The Buddhist perspective on God may be controversial, but it challenges us to rethink our assumptions about spirituality. Instead of relying on external saviors or abstract beliefs, Buddhism urges us to look within, to question, and to trust our own experience. Whether you agree with these ideas or not, you must admit that this is a bold and empowering approach. Of course, this is just a glimpse into the rich dialogue between Buddhism and theism. Don't just take my word for it. I encourage you to investigate these ideas for yourself with an open and critical mind. So, fellow seekers of truth, what do you think about all this? Do you find the Buddhist perspective intriguing, challenging, or perhaps even liberating? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-expanding content. Remember, the ultimate answers aren't found in any holy book or YouTube video. They are waiting to be discovered in the depths of your own awareness. So, keep questioning, keep practicing, and trust in the power of your own wisdom. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and I'll see you on the next adventure.